Annyeong Yorobun. It's Dr. Neptune here speaking Korean, saying hello everyone. That's about the extent of my Korean, and this is Idol's latest release called I Love. Came out in October 2022, about 4 months ago. I'm speaking to you in mid-February 2023. Idol consists of 5 members currently, and here they are. It's a multinational group. Here's Minnie from Thailand. She's the one of the lead vocalists. This is Ugi from Beijing, China, sub-vocalist and lead dancer. Miyeon from Seoul, Korea, and she is the second main vocalist. Here's Shua from China, Taiwan, Taipei. So the two Chinas represented here. Shua is also the youngest member of the group, the maknae in Korean, and that in itself is a position. And then here's Soyeon, Jeon Soyeon, who's the leader and rapper in the group, and is also from Seoul. And she also is sort of the creative director in many ways of the group. Writes or co-writes almost all of their songs, and has a big hand in the group's creative directions in a way unlike most other, certainly girl groups, probably boy groups too. So I'm going to go backwards chronologically in today's discussion as I flip through some of the images from I Love. This was a huge hit. Idol is one of the most popular groups, and the title track from this release was called Nude. And it's a song that's in part about challenging stereotypes and kind of with a half wink and tongue-in-cheek, as a lot of their songs are. Challenging the audience to think beyond sex appeal and look for something more substantial. It's a very strong feminist bent through a lot of Idol songs, and I don't mean that necessarily politically. I just mean something else, which hopefully will become clear when I talk about their work. For this release, all 5 members dyed their hair blonde, and this photo shoot took place before Ugi dyed her hair platinum blonde to match the others. But still, even here, it's a light red color, and that's a statement in itself. It's a kind of unusual for all members of a girl group to have their hair blonde. The only other time I can point to where that happened is with Red Velvet back in 2015 with their ice cream cake release, and here they are with their blonde or very light red hair. It's an interesting look. It's certainly meant to get attention, and I think it ties in with the theme of the title song "Nude," in explicitly drawing attention to their appearance. I would also note that all 5 of them have, within the past week, changed their hair back to dark, per their individual Instagram accounts. So seems that was just for the promotional period, and now they're back to their darker hair colors. Some look better than others. I guess it has to do with their skin tone or whatever, but it's also personal preference. So this is their latest release, like I said, 4 months ago, I Love. And that was preceded last year in April by the release of Miyeon's first solo album called simply Miyeon. The members of Idol all they have distinct identities and distinct musical styles in the way that they sing. So much so that they kind of seem like they should all be in different groups, but due in large part, I think, to Soyeon's leadership and use of their different talents, it all comes together in a way that's kind of different. It has a different vibe than most other girl groups. So Miyeon here, she's the oldest member. I think she's 26 this year. And you can see from the visuals here the kind of vibes she gives off, even in less made up or more natural looks, more casual looks. She always looks sort of elegant, I would say, classy. And yet at the same time, somehow approachable, seemingly, anyway. I refer to her in my own nickname for her as the Friendly Princess. She gives off that elegant, classy vibe always, whether in these still photos or performing on stage with the group or solo. Yet always seems seems like somebody that would be very nice and kind, like a friendly princess would. Her song from this release, her title song, was called Drive, and it was a big hit too. Everyone loves Miyeon. She's also the co-host of a weekly music show in Korea, so it gets a lot of exposure there. So Drive is the single. Miyeon has got a really warm sounding voice, I would say. It's a high voice, but warm at the same time, and especially shows through on a song like Te Amo, which is a slower love song. I'm going to link to a video in my description to this one of Miyeon singing an acoustic version of Drive with an acoustic band outside under the cherry blossom trees. I think it really captures her persona as it's projected. And I think you can see this on the video. There's a little blue spot on the cover of Miyeon's album here. Bring it in a little closer. You can see that. This is the only time this has happened with one of my things, but I'm going to show you why it happened. I'm going to lift up off this table, and over to my left is my wall of memorabilia. Well, up on top of this shelf, that's the space where Miyeon usually sits. Sorry, that was Elvis. So I just put Miyeon back up there. And that white LED is shining against that mint green packaging. And didn't take long, just a few months, for it to make this kind of shadow. It hasn't done that with any of these other things, like these lightsome discs, or boxes of discs, but it's coated with a different material. You can see the prism effect right there. So that's what happened to me in here, but I kind of like it. Interesting to me. So Miyeon's album came out in April last year, 2022, a month after the full group released this, I Never Die, in March of 2022. And this is their first full album. So instead of, I think, the 6 songs that were on I Love, there's 9 songs on this one. And the single for this one is Tomboy. This was a big departure for Idol's sound, and Tomboy is another song that explores kind of feminist themes, or God, that's not the right word. I'm searching for it. I don't mean that in the American political way, but the song Tomboy, written by Soyeon, is a song that's a kind of a statement of purpose, and here they are in their pink leather camo outfits. It's a rock song too. I should have mentioned that right up. The reason why it's a big change for them, it's a straight up rock song with kind of heavy metal guitars and a heavy drum beat. as I'm looking at the lyrics here, the lyric sheet for Tomboy. So lyrics, you see the lyric credit there in Korean Hangul characters. That's Soyeon, Soyeon. It's 2 syllables. It's a phonetic alphabet instead of letters like we have. So there's lyrics by Soyeon. See, also she's got a composing credit there too, and you'll see her on almost every song in either with co-writers or just in lyrics by herself. The song itself, just like the title suggests, questions gender identities. I would put it like that. You can see some of the kind of aggressive lyrics here, and say down towards the end, we have this passage where they say it's neither man nor woman, it's neither man nor. So really blurring or questioning again traditional kind of identities here. I don't want to go too far with that because frankly I don't know what the sexuality of any of these members of any of these groups. There's always speculation, of course, but I think in the end they're expressing universal sentiments that aren't limited by one thing or another. Also, this is a good chance, because this lyric sheet is so big, it's a good chance to show you examples of the other members' contributions. So I said Soyeon is a good leader because she manages the skills of the other members very well. In writing the song, she decides who sings what parts. That's what I mean. And then also, both Minnie and Oogie have their own writing credits. So here, lyrics by that first character there is Minnie. That last one is Soyeon again. And then Minnie has a co-composing credit here too. So she co-wrote the music and the lyrics for this. Minnie has a different voice than Miyeon. She's the diva style singer of the group. Think Ariana Grande. So belts out the big notes like that, but also has a second sort of neat vocal identity of the dreamy, soft vocal. She's really good at that too. So her songs feature that. All Idol songs, feature all members doing their parts, but Minnie's contributed creatively to the writing of the songs too. And then where is... Sorry for this rattling. Alrighty. One of these is credits is for Oogie also. And it's this song here. I had to check another source for the character, but that is Oogie in Korean. I don't know how to read Korean. I recognize the names like this. So anyway, here's Oogie's co-writing credit here for her song Polaroid. And Oogie has a deep voice, which is sometimes used for exaggerated effect. And Soyeon is great at doing that, at harnessing that too. Here is an awesome song from this album called My Bag. And I'm going to post a link to this song too in my description. For one thing, you'll see them all do a considerable amount of twerking, which is a sight to see, but also this is a rap song all the way through. Not just Soyeon rapping, but all 5 members rap, which never happens, and it's often for comic effect. So Oogie's part is here, where she pitches her voice super low and goes rum. What is the lyric here? Rumble, blah blah, crumble, blah blah blah, like that. This whole song is each member kind of describing their own image, their own identity. Okay, so Oogie's got the deep voice there. We've got here reference to Boss Baby. This is Shua's part, that she's the boss baby. She's the baby of the group, yet sometimes seems like she's the leader. Miyeon's part, if you just indulge me for a second as I look here. Princess. Okay, there's the key word there. As Miyeon's rapping here in Korean and English both, she's describing her image as a princess and that she's more than that. And then Minnie's part, I guess. Where is Minnie's part? Not sure. I don't want to spend too much time looking this stuff up. But anyway, Miyeon and Minnie and Oogie and Shua are all rappers on that song, to often kind of hilarious effect. All right, so gonna continue on with the next release. And by next release, I mean the one that came before, the one we just looked at. So before I Never Die came Soyeon's first solo mini album called Windy. Came out in July of 2021. This is awesome packaging. It's meant to look like a takeout box for a fictional burger restaurant or chain called Windy Burger. Jeon Soyeon is her full name, his first mini album. She had released singles before Idol was even formed, and she was on a TV show, a popular TV show in Korea called Unpretty Rap Star, which I've always thought was incredibly insulting. You know, this is all female people on the show, and they're called unpretty, but I guess it didn't bother them as much as it does me. So Soyeon, in other words, was well known prior to Idol's formation, and she seems to have had a hand in even choosing some of the members. Here's her photo card from Windy. They went pretty far in this concept. The video has Soyeon being the world's worst fast food employee. So here's the Windy Burger membership card that you can sign. The CD itself has a burger bun. It's like it comes in a food package. So the company really went all out in doing this, and with a great sense of humor. Something that's missed sometimes with Soyeon, for all this talk of her concern with gender roles and identity, politics, and whatnot. She's also a rapper and singer and dancer, and she seems to have a pretty fun time with it. Her couple of solo releases before Idol was formed were the Idol song and Jelly, both of them kind of infectious. And I should say at this point, the name Idol has multiple meanings. In Korean, idol means children. And also in Korea, in K-pop, the word idol, the English word idol, is used to describe the singers. So they're idol singers. So there's a or at least a bilingual pun of sorts going on there with the word idol. However, the other alternate meaning of the word idol in English, spelled differently, would be sort of lazy. And the Idol song and some of what Soyeon does in this Windy Burger concept kind of support that. She's fighting with the customers and not caring about her job. There's a great passage that's very reminiscent of the old American movie from the 80s, where John Cusack is flipping burgers and they come to life and perform a Van Halen song. Very similar scene in the Windy video. Anyway, Idol has those multiple meanings, and they were originally also called G-Idol for reasons which I will explain right now. And that explanation is that the G in G-Idol was added because of those concerns that one of the English meanings was sort of negatively connotated. So the G was added there to put girls, to signify girls. And beyond that, I may be over my head in trying to explain these multilingual wordplay issues. But one reason why they're now called idol instead of G-idol, the G was dropped, is that eagle-eyed viewers can notice right away that here, this is their release from January 2021, so more than a year prior to the release of I Never Die. Here they have 6 members, right? They had 5 in everything I've shown you up till now. So the 6th member here in the center, that's Soyeon. And shortly after this, or during this year, Soyeon left the group. It's always murky, sort of, and anything you can find on the internet is exactly what happens in these circumstances. But apparently it was a bullying issue. And this is a big thing in Korea. This is not the first time. It's not the only time that a member of a group has had to leave because someone from their past, no matter how long ago, has said that they were basically a mean girl. And there are strict anti-bullying laws and things in Korea that cover this kind of thing. Whatever the upshot of it is, Soyeon is no longer in the group. So this photo book is the last one. This release is the last one that Soyeon was a part of for Idol. This release is called I Burn. You can see there. And it's really notable for the fact that Soyeon in particular had a really clear artistic vision of what she wanted to do with this album. It's really a concept album, mini album that is. And the lead single, the title song from this was called Hwa. Hwa, and that's that one there. Hwa in Korean can mean both fire and flower, the way it sounds. And in fact, these 3 versions of this release have not Korean, but Chinese characters up in the upper right corner, representing winter, fire, and flower. And the concept of this album is that the songs in sequence tell the story of a heart that's been frozen, broken. I just showed you the photos from there. They're in a kind of wintry landscape. Heart has been frozen over, broken. And then there's a necessary burn that has to take place. You have to burn through that or over that or whatever it might be. So these visuals in this photo book are radically different from those kind of icy white ones. A little more color in there to represent the burning down of those bad old feelings from the heartbreak. And then the conclusion of the cycle ends with a flowering, a rebirth, like in the spring. So here there's a riot of color in their outfits. So this is the most gaudy, colorful costuming I've ever seen. That you'll see too in all of these of this group. So really quite beautiful. Oogie there with the bob wig. All different kinds of flowers. So not only these 3, the packaging reflects that song sequence or that thematic sequence, but the songs themselves do too. This first one in Korean is called Alone, or Han. It's a callback to another digital single that they had released earlier, also called Han. But it's kind of the intro to this. And then this is Hwa, Fire and Flower. Moon is one of Minnie's songs, kind of dreamy in its approach, a dream pop song. Where is Love, I believe, is an Oogie song. And Lost, and what's the last one there? Dahlia. Dahlia also a mini song, or mini has the main vocal on it. Dahlia being a flower, so the flower flowering at the end of the 6-song cycle. So there's a lot that went into this, a lot of thought that went into this, and Soyeon was a part of it. Soyeon's role in the group until her departure was largely that of a kind of the sex symbol, I would say, the bombshell type. She had the sexiest moves and outfits often, and she always seemed weirdly uncomfortable with that role when she was off stage, still on camera, but the behind-the-scenes videos and vlogs and so forth that I watched of Idol when Soyeon was in the group, she always was in the background, had very little to say, was notorious for it. The other members would call her out on it, but she just seemed very uncomfortable being in the spotlight. So I don't know if that had anything to do with the bullying stuff or just in general she kind of didn't want to be there. But she was someone who seemed to have a past. There she is in bombshell mode, right? Looks nude there, really. I'm sure she has clothes on below this, but she's cropped so that she appears that way, whereas here's Minnie and all the others, even Miyeon here, cropped clothes, but you can see that she's wearing clothes. So she seemed like a reluctant kind of sex symbol, and now she's gone. Don't know what I tried searching to figure out what she's been up to. I don't know. I guess she's gone back to private life. There she is again. Sorry. That's not her. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. It is her, sorry. Looked like Oogie with the thing. All right, but that's Oogie. So this is Dum Dee Dum Dee. It's their summer song from the lockdown year of 2020, and it's an anomaly really in their catalog. It's their least serious of all these releases. Not that they don't have fun, like with the In My Bag song I mentioned earlier, but a lot of their themes are pretty heavy, like with the Fire Flower song cycle I was just talking about. But this is really a departure. It's a big hit, Dum Dee Dum Dee. Soyeon wrote this. She said she wanted to replicate the energy of percussion instruments. So Dum Dee Dum Dee is meant to sound like drum beats. There's Soyeon. Great video. Looks like it was shot in the American West, but it was in a set somewhere in Korea. Here they are. They're all poolside enjoying beverages. There's so much in these packages you can see as I flip through. I wanted to show a picture. Okay, we've got the pictures of the members in the pool, kind of frolicking. This photo shoot's part of the video shoot. There's Shua, of course, fully dressed, fully clothed, I should say. Not wearing any kind of suggestive wear, bikinis or anything like that. There's Soyeon, got fruit floating in the pool. But in the behind-the-scenes video of this video shoot, there's something that I thought was kind of funny. I just want to point out here. You can see it in this picture. It's the group picture by the pool. Anytime that they're actually in the pool, that pool is only half filled because not all the members can swim. And so when they're in there splashing around, looking like they're swimming, they're really, up to mid-calf, I guess, for safety purposes. But it's a fun vibe. I love the pink hair. Talking about hair color, blonde doesn't always work, but pink does. Pink always works for me. So Minnie looks great there. There's Miyeon and all the others for Dum Dee Dum Dee. And then going back a few months earlier, that same year of 2020, is I Trust. And this is back in their kind of serious vibe, I would say. This was a breakthrough EP for the song Oh My God. That was the title track. Extremely dramatic song just in and of itself, and their performances even amped that up in the music videos and whatnot. You can see here these two versions, kind of the I don't know, angel devil, black white dichotomy at work here. Also an excellent song here called Maybe, and actually this one here is called Sarange, Love You. Great B-sides here. Lion was a huge hit prior to the release of this. It came from their appearance on a TV show called Queendom. But I Trust has these visuals of the group. Soojin here is blonde. And I'm going to link to a performance of this song of them in angel costumes, literally all dressed in white with wings and halos on their heads. And it's a great example of their mixture of kind of heavy, weighty sounding content, subject matter of the song being an intense love affair. But their performance of it, this is another example, I think, of them having all these different personas and personalities and kind of blending together. There's moments where they make mistakes and laugh and crash into each other and their halos fall off their heads and all sorts of other things happen. And there's a moment right at the beginning of the video where Shua and Soojin here lock eyes in a way that supports what a lot of people hoped was the fact. It was that some of Idol's songs and other elements are explicitly geared towards same-sex relationships or describe such a thing. I've heard Oh My God itself described as an intensely lesbian song about female attraction. There are lines in there like she took me to the stars, but I always think that it's limiting to try to pin meanings down here. I'm flipping through because I love the kind of goth look that they've got in the black version of this. But Oh My God is a great song, and it's almost like an operatic performance, and that means vocally and physically in their dance. Okay, so that is I Trust. And I'll finish up here with their first two releases, I Am and I Made. Starting with I Trust, the one we just looked at, I think is where Idol really started to kind of blossom. But there are many, elements of these first two early releases that kind of hint or show the potential and things that were to develop a little bit later on. We're not talking about all that long ago, actually, because this is their second album from 2019, and it's called I Made. The single from this is Señorita. They have a lot of influence from multi-global musical styles. So Señorita has kind of it has a Latin rhythm to it. The members look extremely young here compared to how they look on their follow-up release. But you see they're draped in these really gorgeous, kind of luxurious fabrics. And I think starting out, that was the bulk of their imagery, kind of supported that. And then their very first debut here, release is I Am. And that was from, where are we looking at? May of 2018. Big hit from this was the single La Ta Ta, another kind of Latin influenced song. This one I love. I just heard it in the car on the way back here earlier. It's Dollar. I'm Not Your Girlfriend. It's already establishing a some kind of feminist sort of standpoint there. Don't Text Me, also an aggressive, declaration of what she wants, the speaker of the song. Actually, one last thing I wanted to mention having now talked about Soojin and her departure from the group, the reason why Idol is now called Idol instead of G Idol is that the G in part represents her departure. So here's back to I Never Die from 2022, a year ago, March 2022. But see how they packaged it. And we'll compare that to G Idol's first album. This is how their name appeared on everything up until this point. The G in parentheses, I dash, and then the rest of the word Idol. All right. Now starting with this one, which was the first release minus Soojin, we've got this packaging, which looks like it's got nothing. It's got the parentheses still, but no G. But wait, we take their red filter off, and there it is. It's as if it's hidden there, as if Soojin, even though she's not in the group anymore, somehow she still is. I don't know. Interesting. And then that I think continues with I Love, where here the name of the group is Idol, and Soyeon has stated in interviews that that's how the group's name should be known and pronounced, as Idol now, definitively. And also in the lyrics to Tomboy from this release, they refer to themselves. They say, it's just me, Idol. So here's Idol, but still, look where it is. It's in the middle of the O from I Love, which also functions as parentheses, similar to that. And here's the list of group members. As you can see, in order of age, Miyeon's the oldest at 26. Shu is 23. It's not that much difference. But Miyeon, Minnie, Soyeon, and then that's where Soojin would be. Then null symbol, then Oogi and Shua. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't know whose decision this is. If perhaps Soyeon still wants to, somehow pay tribute to Soojin, I really have no idea. But that's the last point I want to make about this amazing girl group that I love so much, Idol. And I hope that you enjoyed this look at their whole catalog, and that you click on a couple of the videos that I've put in the description. In any event, thanks for watching, and I will come back another time soon.